Welcome to the 28th Annual Southern Maine Christmas Parade. Jim Berger and Chuck Million here to share this good day with you.
We couldn't ask for better weather today, Jim. I've been here when it's been blowing and cold and snowy, and I think we've got the best day so far this week. And this is the Wells Christmas Parade. And as Jim said, it's our 28th year, sponsored by the Wells Chamber of Commerce. And we'd like to wish everybody happy holidays and a Merry Christmas, and hope that you enjoy the day.
This year's theme is Santa's Workshop, and it's led by the Wells Police Honor Guard, which is headed up by Kevin Cabot,
Patrolman John Regel, Patrolman Justin Titcomb, and Patrolman Tim Sazzano. Immediately
following the Honor Guard is our town officials, John Carter, the town manager,
Chris Chase, Bob Foley,
Coach Roach, Tim Roach.
And who's the gentleman on the end? Do you know him? I think that's Mr. Eggstick.
Yes. Richard Clark is not there, but he's the other selectman. They're followed by the trolley, which has the parade judges in it. This year the parade judges include Dar Littlefield, Marianne Godine, Lorraine Cullen, Peg Corbett, Terry Hodskins, Diane Greenwich, and the Littlefield family.
Next coming at us is the Director of the Chamber of Commerce,
Eleanor
Vadnais,
and the President of the Board, Dennis.
And then we have the Grand Marshal,
Dennis Lavassiere. The Grand Marshal are Bill and Ann Spiller.
In their 1929 Model A Ford. They were Bill and Anna's 130-acre farm is up on Route 9A, and they have 45 years of work that they've been doing there. In 2001, the Spillers wanted to try and make a dent in poverty and hit rural areas of the state. They turned to their land, and the new Maine chapter of the National Plant a Row for Hungry program was started.
Following the Spillers is Melodies and Memories Barbershop Quartet.
And then we have the Oakhurst Dairy Antique Milk Wagon and Pony. They've been in this parade for a number of years.
They always provide a milk wagon at Christmas.
We don't know whether Oakie's here today or not, but we might find him later on.
Next up is the Girl Scouts of Maine, Troop 250 and Troop 1103. Their theme this year is Santa's Elves and Toys.
And they plan to be doing a little singing for us, so we don't know whether they're going to stop in front of us and perform or not.
There's Troop 250.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Various costumes they put together for the parade.
And next coming at us are the Wells Brownie Troop. They have a float. It's all third graders, and their theme for the entry is Santa's Helpers. It says they took a day to do this. It's John and Tracy Halen, along with Matt Jarvis on the float. And next we have the Wells Congregational Church. Their float is a live band featuring the church's Sunday school and youth group.
The mittens, hat, and scarves on the float's mitten tree will be donated to the Wells community. Services for the Congregational Church of Wells are at 9:30 every Sunday, led by Reverend Linda Hurst. All are welcome. The good folks at the Congregational Church of Wells invite you to join them and see what they're all about. This is their third year in the parade.
Welcome. They're going to perform for us. I think they just realized they're being filmed here, Jim.
Looks like Spiller Farm is involved again, this time with the Wells Conservation Commission.
Their theme is Winter Wonderland, and they're inviting everybody for a walk in our woods. They're inviting everyone to visit their public lands where they can enjoy being outdoors with nature. The tractor and flatbed are donated by the Spiller Farm. The town of Wells owns almost 1,800 acres of public lands, and they want you to please check with their website regularly for listings of their monthly scheduled hikes and future special events. This is their first year in the parade, and I believe with us is Mr. Rocky Furman.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Noble.
They can be found at www.wellsconservation.org.
And here we have the Wells Cub Scout Pack 356. They have a float, Santa's Workshop, and the contributors involved in the float were Lisa Hubbard, Maureen Mahoney, Corey Steve, Don Steve, and Ben and Liz Clow. And in a few months, they plan on doing their Pinewood Derby and Space Derby, and hope all attend.
They've been involved with the parade since the beginning. We are going to be entertained next by the Jim Dandy's Children's Circus. It's a unicycle group out of Scarborough, Maine. We have a float now in front of us reminding us there's 16 days till Christmas. I know that, Jim, you've run many marathons, but have you ridden one of these unicycles? No, I haven't, Chuck.
I'm surprised.
Nope, I couldn't do it, and it's something that I don't want to try. I like my nose remaining unbroken.
I can see you going by the house. It would be very entertaining.
Thanks, Chuck. The Jim Dandies have applied for an appearance in the presidential inauguration in Washington in 2013. We wish them luck with that. They're the largest continuously operating children's circus in the United States, with more than 3,500 participants since 1981. The Jim Dandies have performed at more than 80 schools, countless community events in the New England region, and many nationally significant events, bringing the wonder of the circus with the enthusiasm of young performers, young and old alike. You just saw a 6-foot-high giraffe unicycle go by, and many times they have up to 80 people involved in unicycles. Today they have, we believe, up to 40.
They've received many awards along the way. They've been recognized by the Maine State Arts Task Force as an exemplary program for children in the area of movement and performing arts in '91. They represented the state of Maine in the National Independence Day Parades in Washington, D.C. They've been featured on Zoom, the nationally syndicated PBN Children's Program, in 2001 and 2004. And 55 Jim Dandies riding 6-foot-high giraffe unicycles represented the state of Maine in the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Day Parade in 2005.
Right back. Right.
They've received many accolades over the years.
I can hear the Wells High School band coming. It's under the direction of LD, Larry Downing.
And the staff of Paul Bell, Jeff Smith, Deborah LaRue, and Bailey Johnson. This band has been in the parade since the beginning, so that means they've been with us for 28 years.
Undoubtedly, they're preferring the weather that we have here in Wells today over the weather they had when they performed yesterday in Ogunquit.
As I said earlier, we've got the best day of the weekend so far.
Have the banners and then the color guard leading the actual band itself. They perform at all the home high school football games in addition to performing at competitions throughout southern Maine.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe they placed in the state's competitions this year.
They did.
We'll take a moment and listen to them, and you won't have to listen to us.
The success of the band is largely, obviously, due to the kids' involvement, but they're supported by Wells Music Boosters, which is a group of parents who put in countless hours of support.
And for years, they've been supported by the community. It's a very good organization. Next, we have DF Richard. They are a silver sponsor of this group. They were founded in 1932 and is one of the area's premier regional suppliers of heating oils and propane gas.
I recognize the banner
I was going to say the lady carrying the banner, I think, is very close to you.
It would
And
be
same with
Patty
the
and
one on the left.
my daughter Mary.
Congratulations.
Followed by the Ogunquit Playhouse.
The Ogunquit Playhouse float.
Merry Christmas!
The theme for their entry is Dickens' A Christmas Carol.
Sitting in the bed, I believe, is the director of the Playhouse.
The Ogunquit Playhouse is America's foremost summer theater since 1933. The Playhouse is famous for its first-rate Broadway caliber shows. This year, they will be bringing 5 exciting musicals: Early Modern Millie, West Side Story, The Rat Pack, plus 2 Broadway favorites yet to be announced.
And in front of us, we have the Ogunquit Chamber of Commerce float, which is the Polar Express. The theme was decided by volunteers. The float was started last year, but greatly expanded this year. Contributors of this involved are Tim Pinkham, Trip Roulier, John Mixon, and Steve Trombley, and many more. This is quite a float that they presented for us today.
One of the major events that they'll be working on in the next few months is the Ogunquit celebration of Mardi Gras. They have some people, youngsters passing candy out. That'll be followed up by Q97.9, Portland's #1 hit music station.
They're calling their float the Q Sleigh company vehicle.
They've been involved in the parade a number of years.
And their music is rather quiet today. Evidently, they don't want to take away from the Brown family that it looks like it's the next float coming. Their entry for the theme name is Santa's Workshop. And they'd like to thank the contributors, Tina, Darcy, and Mike. They've been with us for 9 years. We welcome the Brown family from York, Maine. This, as I said, is their 9th year. Tina, Mike, and Darcy wish you and your family a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Darcy is hard at work with Santas and the toys.
Nice family effort. Be involved with the parade. Kenny's coming from Kennybunk Savings, another major sponsor of the parade. Ned Lulia is the local branch
Merry Christmas.
director. They have some marchers from the Wells branch staff.
And they've been in the parade for several years.
Next is the Lighthouse Church of the Nazarene. The name of their float is God's Perfect Gift, God's Gift of Love. It was constructed over a span of 3 weeks. Pastor Ed Beecher led the group. They have Christmas Eve services December 24th at 6 p.m. and invite all to join them, as well as their Men's Prayer Summit, which will be held this year at the Moose River Outpost.
And the next one is the Marciello Group, Better Homes and Gardens, Ray Pape from York, Maine, and their theme is Family Begins at Home, promoting home ownership. This is all the Marciello agents
Merry Christmas.
from the Wells and Agunkwood offices, I believe, if I recognize them.
We have a color guard.
This is all part of Congdon's Donuts. They have the color guard, the junior color guard. They have Christmas workshop. I believe the van is loaded with donuts, and I believe they're passing out honey dip donuts to all those on the parade route. Yes, here they come. This float was constructed by Richard Leach, Ginny Walker, Gary Leach, and Carol Patanzi. They've been in the parade for over 25 years.
Major supporter of the community, thank you. Nancy Hafford in her smart car. People see them around town. Nancy's a State Farm agent.
And then we have next 94.9 WHOM. They've been in the parade for many years in their little van that they usually have more loud music, but they don't want to take away from the Congdon's float. They call it 94.9 WHOM Tinsel Tahoe.
They're followed by the Wells Rotary Club.
And we have a couple of Rotarians here that are performing some shenanigans in the parade for us. Hopefully they aren't out of control further down the route.
This year, executive director of the Rotary
is Suzanne Isley.
They're followed by the Maine Rebels. The football team, and they have tryouts December 15th up in Gorham.
If you'd like to join the Maine Rebels, feel free. Next we have McDonald's of Maine team. They're having their sampling van. They have a juggler, Southern Bells, walkers, and they're passing out beverage coupons. This is their 3rd year in the parade. This is the Piscataqua Obedience Club with their dogs that came to see us today. They have a small tractor pulling a wagon, walkers with dogs, and it's Santa's reindeer is their theme. They're offering obedience classes in Kittery. Many don't know exactly how many years they've been here, but they've been here for quite some time.
That brings us to TC Hafford Basement Systems. They have a vehicle with a float. Their theme is TC's Toys. Their plans for the next few months are to save the world one dry basement at a time. They've got some happy elves passing candy out as well.
And the next are our silver sponsors with the banner, Kennybunk Savings Bank, a mutual savings bank founded in 1871, headquartered in Kennybunk. They proudly serve southern Maine and Seacoast, New Hampshire with 15 branches. And then of course we have the Wells Fire Department. This is the Wells branch team. And then Wells Corner.
Corian Quint and Eric Nixon were the folks carrying the banner for Kennybunk. It's always a good sign at the parade rather than having to respond to something.
And obviously the noise is a little loud, so we need to speak up just a little. But you can see from the display of equipment we have here that there is no shortage.
The Wells department will be followed by the Algonquin department.
I believe we have equipment here from each one of our branch fire stations.
Also have some more candy. The kids are going to do well with candy this year. Each engine has its own distinct noise.
With fire engines, and we have brush trucks from Wells, and I believe we have a brush truck from Algonquin.
We're still in Wells. They brought it all out today. They moved the tree this year, which used to be located down by the chamber, and is now up on Harbor Road right by the fire department.
I believe it's located right behind the new clock that was donated to Wells by the Rotary Club.
Correct. Right there at the corner of 1 and 109.
And here come the Wells Ambulance Service, which is located on 109, right behind the York Hospital facilities.
And following the Wells EMS is the aforementioned Algonquin Fire Department.
With their ladder truck number 7. And we have a little motorized antique car that's sandwiched in between the two vehicles. The Algonquin Fire Department.
Engine 1.
Their little parade vehicle. Fully geared with boots and a fallout suit.
And next is the Goodwin Mills. It's a 1953 fire truck. First year in our parade.
And we'd like to welcome them here. It's nice to have some vintage vehicles.
And then the
Wildwood Volunteer Fire Department.
from Kennebunkport.
And we have the York Beach Fire Department coming behind the Wildwood Fire Department. It was nice that many of these communities sent a representative to the parade.
We have another banner for another primary sponsor of the parade. This time it's Abbott Brothers. Carrying the banner are Brandon Mannion and Desiree Kuhn.
Abbott.
Nope, that's who was supposed to be carrying it. I recognize them too.
Those
two
look
more of my
like
daughters.
2 of your daughters. Abbott Brothers is a family-owned business operated since 1933, and they offer septic tank service, tree service, landscaping, supplies, excavation, mulch, and topsoil.
That would be Sarah in the white and Bethany with the hat with the ears.
And the next beautiful entry we have here is T.D. Robinson's horse-drawn carriage service from North Berwick, Maine. They offer horse-drawn carriage service with 4 passengers,
In the
and they're available for weddings and special events.
In the 1957 Cadillac, I'm sorry, it's a 51 Chevy pickup, is Dana's Upholstery.
From Arundel.
They're followed by Encore, which is a singing group. Their theme is Santa's Workshop.
I believe they're being towed, hauled in a wagon supplied to us by Rick Chase from the Chase Farm on Route 9.
And they're under the direction of Bailey Johnson.
Then we have Toys for Tots. Toys for Tots Foundation has a float with the red and gold pickup, they said, but I don't believe so. There's plenty enough toys for all good tots. An attempt each year to confirm the Town of Wells theme, and their major contributors are U.S. Marine Corps Reserve, the York County Marine Corps, Toys for Tots Foundation. This is the third year in the parade.
I recognize some of the staff members from our local Hannaford. Hannaford Trucking provided a truck for the parade. It's a 1948 stake body farm truck. And they are passing candy out as well.
Merry Christmas.
We've got Frosty the Snowman in an old truck.
Frosty in an old international truck.
Followed by a tractor hauling a tractor.
This, I believe, is the Southern Maine Tractors Association. All carrying their old vintage tractors. They have a group that all restore these old tractors and have shows and tractor pulls. And some of these things are a definite work of art. Some old-time tractors here.
They got a nice day to get out and drive them, and they came to share them with us in the parade. We appreciate it.
Obviously, there isn't much heat in those cabs, or no cabs.
Next up is the Maine Academic Scholarship Program and the Miss Holly Christmas Prelude Pageant Princess. The princesses are in the back of the pickup truck. The director is Lisa Ottman from Kennebunkport. Miss Holly Preschool is Sarah Watson from Kennebunk. Miss Holly Primary, Ella Radley from Saco. Miss Holly High School, Sarah Spalding from Kennebunk. Miss Holly Collegiate, Kelly Wasik from Wyndham. The girls were crowned on November 18th at the Nonanum Resort in Kennebunkport. They participated in the Hat Parade during Christmas Prelude last weekend and will participate in community service activities throughout their year of service. This is their second year in the parade.
Here we have the Sanford High School Marching Band. They perform in many of the local parades as well, a very well accredited group. And they usually come to our parade every year. I can't tell you how many years they've been here, but I know it's been many.
They're followed by a group that you know well, Chuck. I remember when your daughter was with the high school, the Wells High School cheerleading crew. This is a great group.
Christmas cheers from the Wells cheerleaders. They support all the sporting teams and compete against other cheering teams in many competitions across the state. They've been known to take home many trophies.
Hey, here come the state champs. Second year in a row, Wells has had state champs. Last year it was high school, this year it's the 8th graders.
Eighth grade state champs, and to their glory, they did happen to defeat York in the state game, which for Wells is a great accomplishment. And we'd like to welcome them to the parade.
This is the Wells Algonquin Youth Football and Cheering Association. Really a fine feeder organization, and they do a good job of getting kids ready to participate in high school.
And the theme is Building Champions, which obviously we do. Hello, gang. How are you?
Why, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Merry Christmas.
Scott DeLaFleece is the leader of the group this year. About time for some horses, it looks like.
Yes, it is.
The Grown Gaited Rider of New England, Amy Chase from Kennebunk. They've been in the parade now for 3 years. Amy Choice and Lindsay Smith.
Beautiful horses. And I believe next we have the Boy Scout Troop 356 from Wells, Maine. Their description is they are marchers.
And apparently they wanted to follow the horses. So.
They wanted to follow the horses, and they wanted to be right before Santa for some reason. I don't know what that might be.
They'll be passing out more candy. They're trying to get their goat Isaac to move along. He's been slowing them down a tad, apparently. We're now all awaiting Santa.
The arrival of Santa. It is the desire of Santa to bring joy and happiness to everyone in the world. He hopes that each and every one of you will join him in spreading the magic and love of Christmas.
While we wait for Santa, they're letting the trolley out first. We want to thank Jed Cobb, who's a videographer. We're doing a fine job with this year's parade again. And there he is.
There's Santa. Here's the man.
And
Merry Christmas, Santa.
with the appearance of Santa also marks the end of the parade. We hope you enjoyed the 28th annual Wells Christmas Parade. Once again, in the finest weather I've ever seen. The guy crossed the streets in short sleeves.
And we thank you very much for coming today. We appreciate your patience at the end of the parade, as this route will end at the elementary school. So it might be another 20 or 30 minutes before you can leave where we are. But enjoy the afternoon and enjoy your holiday.